All right, so Lou is gonna split personalities and be two people.
I like it. I like it. I'm used to this, by the way. Yes.
So my contacts at Alpha Baking are Sammy and Bobby.
Okay.
Bobby is more or less the shipper, the one that operates World Ship, shipping out the packages, make sure they get picked up.
Okay.
Tracking packages, that type of deal. Sammy is more or less the operations manager, so Bobby's boss.
Okay.
Kind of the decision maker regarding that concept.
And he makes transportation decisions?
Yeah, for small package, so UPS, really anything UPS related, they have a
Okay.
3PL for all their freight stuff.
Okay.
Freight trucks as well.
All right, and they're baking?
Yeah, so you want me to tell them what they tend to be shipping?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So
give me a little more
most
flavor.
of their shipments are to sales folks out in the field, fresh, frozen, baked
Samples
goods,
and
yeah,
stuff?
samples.
Gotcha.
So this is existing customer,
Existing customer.
new business and at all, opportunity?
Solutions, opportunities, and opportunity for them to utilize different UPS services, not necessarily cost cutting.
Okay.
Cost optimization, mode optimization, I should say.
Gotcha.
Is this in your top 5?
Top 5
Okay.
customer is like 180K, so it's
Okay.
right up there.
Okay.
Number 1, number 2.
And I'm sorry, what were the level of these two people, levels?
Sammy is the operations manager, and Bobby is the shipper. I don't know his exact
Shipping
title.
manager?
Yeah, shipping manager.
They don't need one. The
Yeah,
guy who
it's-
does all this stuff.
They don't even give me business cards.
There you
All right, sounds good.
Well, Sammy and Bobby, it's a pleasure meeting
Hey,
you
nice
today.
to meet you. Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you guys too. How's it been the past couple months?
They've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Lots of bacon going on.
That's good. And I know you guys been pretty busy.
Yep.
Got anything coming up here? Some vacations, I hope?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna do Bobby. He's gonna do a little bit of camping.
Okay.
And, oh, Sammy? Yeah, I'm actually going to Florida in a couple of weeks, so.
Okay. Well, be better weather for sure.
Yeah.
Than what we're currently having.
Absolutely.
But, all right, well, let's take a couple minutes of your time. I know we have done this a couple times before. I just want to make sure you understand the full value that UPS is presently bringing to you guys at Alpha
Okay.
Baking, and also provide some insights and future opportunities that I believe would see fit, and also save some money down the line as well.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so today I just want to lay out an agenda. So first, we're going to be reviewing currently implemented solutions. Next, we'll be going to some new ideas and thoughts based on our previous meetings. And then also some future opportunities, some things that I do believe potentially may be a fit, further down the line, 6 months, maybe a year from now as well.
Okay, all right.
Great. So first I want to start with the current implemented solutions. As you know, with UPS, you have the one driver advantage. Now what that means is you have one driver that picks up all your packages. Now, typically you ship next day air, second day air, and even ground packages as well. So the one driver advantage versus our competitors allows you to have one pickup for all those level of services. I know our competition tend to have a couple different drivers, and that not waste your time, but it takes up more time a day for Bobby. And I know Bobby's a super busy guy, doesn't really have time to be dealing with the multiple drivers. So we're able to calculate some savings that the one driver advantage brings to you guys. It's roughly $856 annually. Next, I want to talk about our customer operating plan. So our last meeting, we had discussed all the other locations of the bakeries that you guys have in the Midwest. Do you remember that, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, great. After that meeting, we had, I did some homework, and we were able to determine some better pickup times and types for those other locations. Some of those locations don't ship at all, but we're on a daily pickup, so we've removed the daily pickup and moved them to a smart pickup,
Okay.
which saves you guys some money on the weekly fees.
Oh, that's good. I like saving some money.
Yeah, it's incremental, but it works for that particular plant. So we made sure we did that with the 7 or 8 other locations you have.
Okay.
Additionally, what we did do is we made sure that all the bakeries were on the same pricing agreement. Now, I know a couple years ago you recently bought a bakery from General Mills.
Correct.
Right, so that location never got added onto the agreement, and you had actually brought it to my attention because you tried shipping out a package on that account number, and the shipping cost was way higher than what
Right,
it would be
right.
here at Alpha Baking on Polk Street. So we figured out that that location was never added to the current agreement. Thankfully, no packages have been shipped during that time frame. Where it
Okay,
wasn't on
so
the
I
agreement.
didn't lose anything.
Yeah, no, you didn't lose any money, so what we did going on forward is added that account to the pricing agreement to make sure if they have any future packages, they're still receiving the same incentives that you are currently receiving.
Okay,
So we tidied up all your accounts and locations.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, we did set you up on Quantum View Manage a couple years ago. I know Bobby has given me some pretty good feedback about that. He's able to track all his outbound packages going to the different sales resources out in the field. And if there's a weather delay in Minnesota, he can know about it and can notify the sales resource out there about that issue. Yeah. Previously, before it was integrated, Bobby was manually tracking the packages through the World Ship, and that takes a little bit more time than through Quantum View Manage, because Quantum View Manage just shows everything on one screen. So we were able to calculate it out about $1,300 in annual savings of Bobby's time with this new method of tracking packages.
So I don't completely understand because, I mean, Bobby's right here, and I'm still paying him the same amount of money. Right, Bobby? You getting the same amount? Yeah, yep, same amount. Don't take $1,300 away from me, boss. All right. So how is it exactly that I'm saving $1,300?
So the way that you're saving $1,300 is in time. Previously, Bobby was spending 20 minutes a day on tracking packages with the old method. Now Bobby's spending 5 minutes a day. So with the 15 minutes in savings and at an hourly rate of $20, that's what it calculated out to. Now, so it's not a hard savings that you'll see in your bottom line, but it is time savings that Bobby could be spending elsewhere.
Okay. Bobby's sitting right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions for Bobby as opposed to telling me how Bobby would benefit?
Bobby, Bobby, if we could, what do you currently do with that extra time that we provided with you a couple of years ago?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I was running 15 minutes over every afternoon, and I mean, it wasn't cool because nobody gives me overtime here, so I was eating the 15 minutes, but it really was irritating me. And but now I'm really able to get the job done in the right time frame, so I know I really appreciated that tool.
Okay, great. So you're not spending an extra 15 minutes a day where you're not getting paid. Instead, you're getting out on time and earning the full wage that you were normally earning because you're not spending the extra 15 minutes a day.
Yeah. Now, alternative one, you know what? I'm actually able to put away all of the returns that come in. We used to just leave that pile sitting there, and I don't know if you noticed, but the whole pile's gone because every day I get to chip away at that with the extra 15 minutes. So it's really helped me to efficiently do my job.
Okay, yeah, and I have noticed a difference. Last time you took me out back in the warehouse, I did notice that it was a little cleaner where the returns were. The pile wasn't as large.
Yeah, helped a lot.
Great, I'm glad that we're able to help with the tracking capabilities, and in return, Bobby, you're getting out on time, and you can get home in an orderly fashion.
Cool.
So next, I do want to talk about some new ideas to further improve your processes and efficiency with some additional UPS solutions. So, Bobby, you had reached out to me about 2 months ago with an issue where the driver had talked about not being able to pick up today because the account was suspended, right?
Yeah, that wasn't good. I mean, all the product was just sitting there. I wasn't sure what we were going to do about it.
Right, yeah, and we were able to get that resolved with getting, schedule an on-call pickup. But what we found out was the situation behind it was that you guys recently moved your account routing folks over from one location to the Polk Street.
Yeah.
And then the billing information, or the bills were still going to the old location.
Mhm.
And now, you guys being the shippers, not, you know, in the operation end of things, not needing to know when the bill gets paid, who pays the bill type of thing.
Right.
That had caused a hiccup with your operations, and of course, I know we can't have that because you're sending out samples
Right.
daily. And if they're next day or second day, or, you know, they need to arrive
Right.
on that time frame. If, you know, you missed a pickup due to non-payment on the account, that kind of throws a wrench in everything. So one tool I do have, and maybe you guys can provide me the proper contact information for the accounting department, would be UPS Billing Center. So what this is an online tool where you actually receive the bills via email and can pay electronically. Oftentimes, you can pay a couple days ahead of time before the bill actually arrives, and it's actually quicker and efficient than sitting down, looking over the bill, writing a check, putting a stamp on the envelope, and putting it in the mailbox, and, you know, a couple days going there. With this tool for your accounting team, your accounting department can save roughly $1,040 each year in time savings with this process versus the manual process of getting the bill, looking over the bill, writing the checks, sending it out. So that's something I do want to get a contact for that department to see if that's something they want to do, and then also it would avoid future non-payments as the bills get sent to an inbox, rather your mailbox, or the incorrect mailbox as they did in this case. Was that something that you guys can provide me with?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the bottom line, what you're telling me is that in order for me to make sure that I get my pickups without any hiccups moving forward, you need to implement something with my billing people.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's gonna streamline their job, and, you know, that's where the cost savings all are, and that won't interrupt your guys' as part of the operation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're gonna save cost. I mean, quite honestly, it's their cost, not mine, so it really doesn't affect my operation. But as long as it makes sure that I get pickups consistently, yeah, absolutely. I'll give you anybody's name you want.
Okay, great. After we're done talking, it'd be great if you could show me who it is and, you know, stop
Sure.
in their office.
Okay.
Great. All right. Next, I do want to talk about some possible shipping integration with your online portal that you guys utilize for the sales folks to order the samples that Bobby then processes. Currently, Bobby takes those orders. They're taken online, but they're not directly fed into UPS World Ship to create the label and to process the package.
Okay.
What UPS can do is we can actually connect World Ship into that software to have the labels produced to ship out the packages. Because currently that's a manual process that Bobby's spending most of his day doing.
Sounds very complicated.
It can be complicated. I'm no expert. I would definitely have to bring in my solutions person to make sure, you know, it is a completely viable solution.
Okay.
But what it would do is help reduce errors, human errors, you know, from Bobby taking these manually entering these into the computer, entering them in, and also it saves Bobby some time with his day that he could be spending elsewhere. Now, Bobby told me he spends roughly 2 hours a day processing packages manually. Now, this electronic process will cut that time in half, which will then allow Bobby an additional hour a day to be doing something else. And that's kind of where we got the 5,200 in savings from.
Okay, so the bottom line is now I'm gaining an hour a day.
Yes.
Bobby, you confirm that? Yes, I do. All right, well, I'd like to save an hour a day, but I don't know anything about all that other stuff you talked about. And
Right.
it sounds like it's gonna consume a lot of my time.
Yeah, well, what we can do is, and if you guys have an in-house technician who I haven't met before, we can schedule a meeting with my solutions person and the technician, and also maybe Bobby, because he's the one that's actually processing the packages, and, you know, we can see where the hiccups are currently, and then we can kind of determine what the best route of things are, and then proceed that way. I know Sammy with Bobby, you know, saving time, which saves you guys money. I'm sure that'll make you look good in front of your manager, right?
Well, it should. I'm just not sure he's gonna like me asking for IT resources to get this done. I mean, those folks are already pretty dispatched. And I can tell you, anytime I've walked in that office and asked for anything, they've pretty much told me to leave and that I'm not on the list. So I'm not sure anybody's gonna buy into meeting with you on this.
Okay. What about if we can provide, you know, some information of other customers that have done a similar integration, like a case study on a similar customer, you know, similar industry that wasn't integrated with WorldShip, that was integrated with WorldShip. You know, do you think that would provide some leverage for you guys to be able to get those technician resources?
Well, I mean, I know it wouldn't help the IT resources themselves because they wouldn't care about the case study, but
For your manager, your boss.
now that might be a good idea.
Okay.
Because I think in order to influence IT, we're probably gonna need my boss on board to get that time allocated. So yeah, I mean, the best you can do to help me with something that makes a little more sense to my boss on why this is important would be helpful in getting that done.
Okay, great. I'll get a case study and we'll be able to, you know, maybe we can present, you know, look over it with your boss at that time and, you know, kind of do next steps at that point.
Right.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And then additionally, I do want to talk about your current process and declaring value. Now, you had mentioned last time we had met, you guys give out tickets to sporting events. I know the Bulls and Blackhawks, and maybe a couple of the Bears games as well to some of your top customers.
Right.
Yeah, great. And I wish I could get a ticket or two to see a Bears game, but I know those are for customers only. But I know you guys had mentioned that you put declare value on those packages, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you know exactly what declare value does for those packages?
Well, they're insured then, so, you know, if there's any problem with them, I'll get all my money back.
Okay, then that's the answer I hear from almost all my customers. That's actually a common misconception. Declared value just increases the carrier liability. Essentially, you, the shipper, has to prove that UPS caused the damage or the lost package for the item. In this particular instance, because they are tickets, the UPS and declared value, we're just going to pay out the cost of the paper the ticket's printed on. Now, we do have a UPS Capital insurance plan that would pay out the face value of those tickets if they were lost in transit.
Are you concerned with losing my packages?
I'm not concerned with losing the packages. In fact, we haven't lost any of them. But what this does is that the insurance, the true insurance or declared value, actually comes at a cheaper rate. And so you guys would be able to save money while insuring those packages and get true insurance for them. And that's how we came up with the $961 in annual savings.
All right, that last statement sounded intriguing. Give that to me again.
So with UPS Capital, we'd be able to offer you true insurance for those tickets at a reduced price versus declared value.
So I would get more for less?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good deal. I'll take 3 of those and an order of fries.
All right,
All right.
great. So what I'll do, I'll bring in a UPS Capital representative. She's amazing. She'll be able to look at everything you have declared value in the past and be able to write a policy for you. Like I said, it does cover the face value of the tickets. So, you know, if we were to lose a package and lose the tickets, you know, at least you're paid whole on the value of the tickets.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, what I'm really like about that is you said you're gonna save me money. So I'd like to, if you're gonna come in with anybody, I'd like to know how much money it's gonna save me. Because heck, saving money and being better covered, it sounds like an awesome deal.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a great idea, and I'm glad you're on board with it, and I'll make sure we'll schedule that next week. Does that sound pretty good?
Okay.
All right, awesome. And finally, I do want to talk about some future opportunities. Now, Sammy, when we did meet, you had discussed about some cost savings that the company is going through, and one of those was with UPS. So when I was putting together this presentation, I had thought about a way to offer, cost savings while still maintaining, your current levels of shipping with UPS, because you do receive some pretty good discounts through the shipping activity you do.
Okay.
One way we're able to do that is we can look at the levels of shipments that you're doing and see whether they're the best ways that we can do it. It's called mode optimization. So what we can do is we can actually run a report on all your shipments the past year and see if the way you ship them was the most cost-effective way to ship them. For example, if you ship a next day air out to Peoria, or you just ship it ground, the ground is still going to arrive in one day, like
Right.
the next day air. The only difference would be the time of arrival. So that's something we can look at for some cost savings.
Well, how much do I spend on air right now?
I would have to take a hard look, but from the last time I did take a look, it was roughly 25% of your annual spend. So you do about $180,000.
Okay, so that's quite a bit of money. So it sounds like I've been overspending on those for a while.
Yeah, not necessarily overspending, just, depending on your salesperson's need or whoever the samples are going to, you can change the delivery method essentially to a more economical way. Now, a ground delivery is end of day versus with next day or it's at 10:30, so
Right.
that is also going to play a factor into the overall method of transportation, but UPS, that's something we can take a look at and say, hey, some of these packages can go ground and arrive in the same time of transit as an air package.
Okay, so I know you had mentioned that the last time we talked, I brought up the fact that we were looking to reduce what we spend on UPS, right?
Yeah.
So now you're back to talk to me, and the idea is that I'm going to save a currently undetermined amount on what I already do. I was kind of talking about you giving me a better rate.
Right. Well,
That's what I meant.
yeah, and absolutely. And we have, we did renegotiate your contract 2 years ago. Like I said, there has been slight growth, so that is something we could potentially talk about. But I do want to see if a potential mode optimization is a good fit for you guys internally as a cost-cutting measure. And then, we can also talk about taking a look at your agreement as well.
All right, well then I think we need to get that TBD out of there, and we need a number in there.
Okay.
And all the data, you have it, right?
Yeah,
Because I don't
yeah,
need to provide it because you already have it.
I can get it from myself and my team as well.
All right, so how quickly can I find out how much TBD equals?
Does 2 business days sound reasonable?
Absolutely. I'll
Okay.
take it in 2 days.
All right, that's
Sounds
something I
good.
can get to you.
All right.
And then next, I do want to talk about renewing your customer technology program agreement.
Okay.
This was previously done just over 3 years ago.
Mhm.
The last one you did, you got a world ship station, so a computer, monitor, scale, and laser printer.
Nice.
That was 3-4 years ago with the previous account representative.
Mhm.
What I have been able to determine, or not determine, is that that's something that we could possibly redo for you guys if you're looking to upgrade that system or maybe get a second shipping station. And then I've calculated that out at $1,800 of potential funds available for that new shipping system.
How does that compare to what I got 3 years ago?
So actually, it's more money than what you got 3 years ago because you guys have had that steady growth with UPS, so we were able to offer additional funds. I believe the one 3 years ago was right around $1,500, so that's
Okay.
$300 extra dollars.
Nice. And this is just free?
So I mean, you don't have to change what you do currently.
Uh-huh.
Essentially how it works is you pay it off with shipping UPS packages over the 3 years. You didn't have an issue with the last one.
Beautiful. I'll
Yeah.
take money.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's $1,800.
Beautiful.
And then finally, this is something that you kind of last said at our last meeting was there's been some talks about offering breads and baked goods kind of in an e-commerce model. Right now, you're wholesale,
Mhm.
grocery, Wegmans, Walmart, Costco, local grocery stores as well, and really for the individual consumer. So I did want to include some information about e-commerce and how it is truly growing for you. As you can see, 38% of searches begin on some sort of marketplace, and that's on the far left-hand side.
Okay.
Then additionally, half the consumers have made an international purchase, so that's something that you guys can do to expand your horizon. Maybe reaching customers up in Canada that maybe once lived in Chicago but moved to Canada and loved those poppy seed hot dog rolls that the Chicago dogs are on.
Uh-huh.
And additionally, you could offer maybe an in-store pickup or an in-store location pickup for those goods as well. That's something that we have put together just to continue to fuel that thought as the potential to move to an e-commerce based possibility.
Okay.
All right, great. And then I just do want to do a summary of everything that we had talked about regarding the savings and the annual value here. I was able to calculate it at just over $11,000 in annual savings.
Mm-hmm.
So now with that being said, what would you be able to do with that additional savings? Maybe, with your guys' department.
Well, I mean, most of what you're really talking about there is time.
Mhm.
So it's really about reinvesting that time into making us a little more efficient in our
Okay.
warehouse. So, obviously it's just the two of us back here. I gotta dig in and help Bobby from time to time. I'd rather help him less, sit in my office more. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do with it.
Okay, all right, well, and then, like I said, a couple of the solutions we do need to get some further contacts with, the accounting department and maybe the operations president as
Yep.
well for the integration with WorldShip. Maybe they'll see the true value in some of these areas as well and be able
Mhm.
to utilize the funds differently as well. In addition to you guys and you, Sammy, being
Yeah.
able to help out Bobby less, because I know
Yeah.
you like your office over there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Great, well, that's all I have for you today. Do you have any questions?
No, I just wanna make sure that we get that mode thing
Mhm.
quantified,
Mode
because I'd like to
optimization.
know how much money that saves us, and, I've got some ideas obviously in my mind of where I need my budget to be, so
Okay.
I'd really like to revisit that.
Okay.
Sooner than later.
Right, so like I said.
2 days, right?
Yeah, I said I'll be able to get that to you in 2 days. In addition, I do want to meet with your accounting team and get them set up on the UPS billing
Yeah,
center.
knock that out.
So if you can give me that contact, we'll set up
Sure.
a date with them, because I know that I don't need to be bothering you for that.
Right.
In addition, I do want to bring in my UPS Capital person, Dorothy, and do a visit and then also an implementation. She has told me it's typically can be done the same day. Do you have some time on the 22nd?
Well, I think what I'd like to see first before I agree to the meeting is I'd like to understand the impact to me.
Okay.
Because it sounded nice, but, I mean, it could be $5. If you're gonna save me $5, I don't have time for a meeting.
Okay.
So, reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, sounds good,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.